Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Donkey Kong Country. I'm Metroixer, and I have new guests with me today. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Scratchman Apoo, here on Something Awful, and I do Let's Plays as Samurai Karasu.
And today we're going through the Vineyard, and starting off in Vulture Culture. So, Apoo, or Karasu, I'm guessing you want me to call you Apoo.
Whatever works, sir.
Okay, what's your thing with DKC?
I played this all the time as a kid, and I still remember beating it for the first time on vacation. And, you know, most people go swimming on vacation. I played games about apes.
That's right. Same here. So there's no shame in playing games about apes. If they're good games, you don't have to worry about it. And you swim in the games about apes, so it's kind of like the same thing.
It's true.
You get that experience through your ape pals. It's great.
I'm absorbing their abilities. That's how video games work.
Yeah. Anyway, here this world introduces the forest levels. They're only in this world, and there's only 2 of them. And for what little they are, they're pretty neat. They're not too hard, and both of them have sort of a theme. Like this one, it's Vulture Culture, and well, I'm in a bonus, so you have these aren't vultures.
They look a lot like vultures. You could be mistaken.
Yes, they have the teeth of vultures. Right. I'm sure. I think birds have teeth.
I've heard about that.
Anyway, it's full of like they're called Neckies in this game, the vultures, and there's the junior Neckies and the Neckie seniors. And I think this is the first level where the junior Neckies are, and they're quite annoying. They spit out these nuts at you, and they're a lot more threatening than their older counterparts, I think.
Right. Unless you're talking about the ones like this one that throw nuts at you from above.
Okay, yeah, those are worse. But the junior Neckies, like these guys here, they usually just like get put into positions later on in the game where it becomes devious. Like,
and this is one of the rare levels where you get the O after you get the midpoint barrel.
No, I never noticed a detail like that.
I'm a total nerd for Donkey Kong. There's all them vacations I was spending playing it.
Yeah. Actually, one unique thing about this level, it has a warp barrel. Like, I showed off in, like, the second, in Monkey Mines and Mega Prime, there were, like Minecart Madness and Stop and Go Station had these warp things. But in this one, it's unique in that you actually have a time limit where you have to get to it. And you have to be Donkey Kong. If you're Diddy Kong, you'll never see it. But if you're Donkey Kong and you speed through the level, there's a video near the beginning. A warp barrel near the beginning that'll take you to the end. Also, yeah, I got hurt by zingers, and what is the easiest zingers to bypass, so sue me.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, I know you're supposed to hit the naughty, which is a gopher, not a mole. I called them moles in the last video, and I'm very embarrassed about that. But instead, the Neckie is a lot quicker, I think, since, you know, it's higher and it's more...
you get more leverage.
More assured to get there. Yes, yeah. And this is another new archetype, the treetops, which are really cool. I like the music in it.
I would say that I kind of wish they replaced some of the forest levels with these, because these are really, really interesting.
Well, I mean, these and there's only 2 of these levels too,
right.
So these and the forest levels are kind of balanced out. Although the next forest level probably would have worked out better as a treetop thing.
Yeah, and I believe this is based visually on maybe the Ewok village. I'm not sure. Something from Star Wars.
Oh yeah, this is totally like a Kashyyyk thing, like something from Star Wars, like almost blatant. But I never really minded. Yeah. Because it is a pretty simple design when you think about it.
Ooh, this one's rough.
Oh yeah, this stage is where rushing the level will completely destroy you. If you don't take your time through it and it's your first time playing, you'll die.
Absolutely. Now I always thought that banana right there, I always thought you were supposed to jump into it, and I could never understand why I didn't get the bonus barrel.
You didn't roll jump at it?
I didn't.
Nothing like that? Oh. What kind of Donkey Kong player doesn't know roll jumping? Gee.
Not a very good one.
Disappointing. Here's another tricky thing. So yeah, chains of the automated barrels where you can't really see where they'll shoot you unless you like slowly edge up towards them. And like the worst part is this is not even the hardest thing. Like the hardest of barrel levels is yet to come. This is still and I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, right now this is chump change as far as I'm concerned at this point.
I always thought that it was some sort of symbolism that the lines to the levels formed a big T because I thought it was standing for trees, but in hindsight that's a really stupid assumption.
It's just a very, very nice coincidence. But you never know, because Rareware always likes to put in these little things that are, even back then, like when they make this game, just a bunch of silly, like, dumb, like, gimmicks and Easter eggs that you would never really figure out by yourself.
Right.
Like the bonuses.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And speaking of bonuses, there's a really ridiculous one in this one I know I just despise.
The one at the very end, or the one before that?
Oh man, I wasn't even thinking of the end one. Both of them are actually kind of tough.
Oh. Well, actually, I was thinking the one at the very end is ridiculous just because of how careful you need to be.
Yeah.
But, getting a bit ahead of ourselves here, like, one thing I haven't really explained is that each level kind of will have a gimmick as you keep going along, and here are ropes, where you just go through waves of enemies, like zingers and stuff. And, this is kind of like what makes people turn off to Donkey Kong Country, and especially the third game. Like, the third game gets really ridiculous with, like, the gimmicks to each level. Here, it's a little bit nicer and more simplistic, but, you'll notice as you keep going along that there's gonna be a thing to, like, each level, like a theme, like Freezing Inferno said in the first video, but I stupidly misunderstood him.
That's why I keep it simple. Oh, wait, here we go.
Yeah.
You can see just the tip of that barrel.
It blends in. And to be fair, it's better than not being able to see it at all.
Yeah, but it just makes you upset, because you think, how did they think we would ever find that?
I found it.
Well, now I'm just ashamed. Now everyone knows about my Donkey Kong inadequacies.
My dark Donkey Kong past. So this is the worst Animal Buddy bonus. Right here, Rambies. Because you have an ice stage, which is slippery, and Rambi is already kind of hard to control as it is.
And is it just me, or does the clock in this one go ridiculously fast?
It's dropping like a rock, yeah. And getting to the multiplier, like, this is ridiculous. All the jumping you have to do, I almost don't make it.
Yeah, and you really don't get that much of a multiplier.
Yeah.
You almost got 400. And I mean, in stages like the Espresso one, that's just a given.
Right. Like, the Espresso one is, like, the best, even though Espresso is Espresso.
Yeah.
And here's the really bad bonus I don't like in this one. Patience.
Yeah. I like that Diddy Kong took off his hat and scratched his head just as though he was saying, how the hell are we gonna get through this one?
Yeah. The worst part is that the hitboxes of the game, which, I don't know if people, like, have noticed, the hitboxes are kind of screwed up, and there are times where you'll think you'll be able to hit someone, but no, and there's the bonus. You have to save that barrel all the way through.
And I believe the barrel won't stay there if you just leave it there and kill the Kremlings, but I could be mistaken.
No, it disappears. It'll deteriorate. It's got that Super Nintendo old game syndrome where things off-screen will just go away.
You know, though, I gotta say, it was very fair of that level to have 2 bonus stages. That's a pretty good that's a good number.
Yeah, 2 is, 2 has to be, like, the best number. It's the magic number, because anything, you really don't expect more than that, usually. No. Especially in the second game. If you've played the second game first, which pretty much trains you into thinking there's nothing more than 2.
Right.
And this one, I don't like the bonus stage in this one because you need to get the DK barrel to break open the wall. And that's like the only time you ever have to do that.
And speaking of only time, I'd say this is probably one of the very few times you'll actually get to experience killing a bunch of enemies to get 1-ups.
Right. Actually, the level before that, where all the neckies were, there is a trick you can do to jump on them and get a bunch of lives, but you end up killing yourself in the process.
Right.
Anyway, Espresso.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our favorite ostrich buddy. Okay, let's talk about the good points of Espresso.
Won't take long.
This level really shows off what Espresso is good at, and that is flying. Flying across everything, just skipping over this whole level, which is basically the last tempo level, except the naughties chase you instead of going in a set pattern. And that's nice, you know? Espresso is just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. So that's a plus. Now, I am curious why they decided to make it so that the bananas go right through his legs, which is really tedious.
There is a good reason for that. They wanted to make it so that little enemies, like this claptrap we're beating up right now, don't hit Espresso, which is, you know, if you, like, you're supposed to be able to walk right through them and not, have a problem. The problem with that, though, is,
Yes.
as, it's not demonstrated in the video, but this hitbox ends up being very glitchy,
Right.
and you'll get hit by things you will not expect to get hit by. And Espresso as a whole is just completely... He doesn't have any weapons. Like every animal buddy we've had so far, Winky can jump on things, and Guard can stab things, and Rambi just rams through everything. Espresso has nothing.
Right.
Just like the agility, and I think here is where near the end of the level is a pretty good example of how bad this can really screw you up. For any animal buddy, really, if you get hit while moving, it could really just be the end of you.
Right. And the other thing about Espresso is that he
Oh, hang on. Here we go.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah, right? Isn't that great?
Oh.
There's a hidden barrel there that saved my life.
You know, he wasn't that bad in this level. And now there's this.
Now there is the Orang-utan Gang. There's a thing in the back, but I don't get it because it won't let us do something very important.
Yeah.
And that's killing these dudes. This level sucks.
Ugh.
This level is awful.
It's a real disappointment in life. This is just the worst thing ever.
It's got a nice background effect. The background looks really nice. You know, you got that nice color. You know?
Yeah.
That's a high point.
That's the high point.
And now we have this. Now let's backtrack, which is something you never have to do ever again. At least I don't think so.
No, you don't.
This is why I didn't take the steel barrel, because it would have made me avoid all those Kremlings. And that would have been pretty irritating, trying to go back with Espresso,
Ugh,
having to deal with the Kremlings.
no kidding. What?
Yeah, and here's the bonus.
And I like how the bonuses in this stage are completely worthless and don't matter. Like, the later ones have nothing of any merit in them.
They're completely lazy. And I actually didn't get to show off this bonus. You actually get 3 animal tokens in that bonus, but
It doesn't matter.
I got 3 Winkies, so yeah, it's okay. You didn't really need to see me get all 3 of them, and Winky is cool anyway, so I like his bonus.
You know, they booted out Espresso, and that's cool, but Winky deserved more love. He was a good animal buddy.
He did not deserve to be stuffed in a box. That's what happened. That's what happened to Winky. Cranky stuffed him in a box, and he had him up for sale for like $2 or something like that. This is literally what happens to this frog.
This is canon.
I hope you are all aware of this. This is what happens to poor Winky.
And you almost get 700 animal tokens.
Yeah, right? Like, look how good he is. Look how good Winky
Good
is.
frog.
He didn't do anything to deserve this.
Hopefully that means Espresso got cooked and eaten for Thanksgiving.
That's why you don't even see Espresso. They don't even want to acknowledge Espresso's existence.
You know, there actually was going to be a giraffe animal buddy that you use his neck to climb up tall areas or something like that.
I didn't know that, no.
Tragic we couldn't get him and replace Espresso.
would have been better than a dumb... Well, actually, I like Espresso's design because he's got sneaker shoes, which is pretty silly. I mean, sneakers on an ostrich, that's a pretty neat idea, but... they're not sneakers that do anything.
There's some nice Adidas.
So here's... Yeah, this is... I was showing off there, like, you're standing on the claptraps and they don't hurt you. But, the problem is if you're, like, flying, you know how Espresso has, like, that floating animation? Right. If you're doing that and get near a claptrap, it'll hurt you, even if you're landing right on it, and...
Wow, 20 bananas in a buddy barrel, that's so generous.
That's great. It's awesome. Not even an extra life, but we have enough extra lives, you know, 64, or however many that is.
Oh no, you don't have Espresso anymore, how are you gonna get...
Oh no.
Wait, oh no, there's 2 bonuses, you got them all, right?
Yeah, you only need 2 bonuses for Espresso, and then after that, you can leave him behind, thankfully.
No, that's all the bonuses in this level, right?
Oh yeah, totally. They like we said, 2 is the magic number.
Yeah, why would they have more? Like this.
Up. That's not a pit. Okay, 3 bonuses. Fair enough.
That's tolerable. Amazing.
I love it.
I think...
But that's
I think they... Yeah, of course. They counted up and they were like, well, we need 1 extra bonus stage.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Yeah. Okay, maybe 4. I mean, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
But we get a G, and I forgot the O, so it doesn't really matter.
At least you're done with the level.
Yeah, okay, we just gotta get rid of this one last orangutan, who, according to the instruction manual, is a exiled Kong member.
They really put a lot of backstory. Oh, wait. Silly...
5 bonuses, and we get our favorite buddy back.
Drop him in the pit. Drop him in... Well, get the one up. But...
Do I drop him in the pit? I wonder if I do that.
You
God, I think I did that in a recording before this, and I forgot to do it this time. Oh.
Worthless bird.
I hope we never see that bird again.
At least you already got the bonus out of the... Well, at least you have a level that has no bonuses in it.
Yes, I think that's what they were trying to make up for, actually, since Clam City, you don't have bonuses in the underwater levels, so now, you know, now you just get a relaxing ride. Clam City is not a hard level. Right?
Oh yes, I was just marveling at the beautiful piranhas. And by piranhas, I mean 1 piranha.
It's okay. Not much really to say about this level, except it kind of has this whole, like, big thing where you go through a bunch of clams, then you go through a bunch of same enemies. Like, this is where you can marvel at piranhas. Yeah. The indigenous piranhas of Donkey Kong Country Land.
That really don't seem to be much of a problem, it's just if you swim into them, they will injure you.
Yeah, like... I don't get why the fish have to be the bad guys. They don't do anything. They just mind their own business. Even the sharks.
The sharks are just kind of the sharks are just chilling out, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge group of them, and they're not even bothering to get you. They're just kind of okay. I touched that.
Well, that one had a sharp.
That was my fault.
That one had a sharp tail.
It did, and it was my fault because I got too close to it. You know, I have to. Diddy has to practice shark safety. It's not my fault. He's a reckless.
However, Donkey Kong, luckily, is well trained in underwater safety.
Mm-hmm. So you could learn a thing or two, but he's stuck in a barrel. So there we go. Lead the way.
I liked that there were 2 kinds of sharks. Like, these are different than the ones before. It's such.
Right.
It's something that you really don't think about, but they did put a lot of effort into this game.
I guess so, and like they do have names. I think it's just Chomps and Chomps Jr. Chomps Jr. being the one that hurt us earlier. That was just kind of tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, they're never really a problem except when they try to sneak attack you, and even then, that rarely happens.
Also, I never knew this until recently, but those croctopuses, they have death animation programmed, but there's no way to kill them. So it's thought that you could kill them at some point, like with On Guard, maybe, but I don't know now.
The only way I could think about killing them is when they're idle.
Yeah.
But like you never catch them idle. They will always attack you before they get a chance. Here's the bumblebee. I think this is the queen bumblebee. The queen zinger, actually. They call him bumblebee, but, you know, canon name zingers.
Oh. Now, I will say that a lot of these bosses are easier for Diddy.
Right. Like, yeah, especially this one, since you can just kind of run into the thing with the barrel, and it's whatever. It's fine. There's only really one boss where it would be easier with Donkey Kong, and that's not till much later.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by much later, I mean the one after the next one.
That's late.
Yeah, for this game, that's much later, because it's a short game. So, that was called Vine Valley. Jeez.
I liked your name better.
Valley Vineyard, yeah, me too. That was it for this episode. Next time we'll be tackling the Gorilla Glacier. It's misery.